Hi, Kearney here at Powell Arts, and I'm standing with the magnificent Mary Nesnay, who will be in our It Is Written show from now through October 29th, 2023, and it will have a special preview during the Collingswood Fine Arts and Crafts Festival, which will be August 19th and 20th. Mary, do you mind introducing us to your piece?
Thank you very much. This is called Please Rush. It's embroidery and applique, and it was inspired by my grandparents' World War II love letters to each other. So this is actually his penmanship with her address, and her penmanship with where he was currently stationed at the time in the Navy, Paterson, New Jersey, because that's where they lived.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used vinyl here for the censor tape. When they used to open up.
Oh yeah, that's so smart.
envelopes.
And that's something that you will not be able to see on the video, and you couldn't see in the photo. So it's like one of those nice little surprises.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also did a patch here for the via ear mail that they always had on the envelopes. And this is applique, so it's other pieces of fabric that I had printed, which are the stamps with the flag postage cancellation stamp, which was quite common back in World War II. And then on the back, it has her penmanship again when she printed, because she printed on some of the envelopes, Please Rush, with all kisses.
I love the kisses.
And then when you open it up, the actual lining is fabric that I printed that is their actual envelope. So this is what created that. So if you look inside here,
And we'll take a little photo of it so people can
it says Please Rush, which is what I put on the top there, and it's the address, and this is like the stamp that was on the front.
This is so cool.
So,
And then you have his little dog tags.
yes, they're kind of like patches, like a keychain.
Keychain, you can hang it from the side, you can do whatever you want. I love this. It's such a unique idea. How did you come up with it? And also you used an envelope, like it's an envelope purse.
Yes, that's what
It's clever. It's very clever.
I like to come up with different ideas, and I'm influenced by pop art, so a lot
That
of
totally
this
makes sense.
and graphic design, so typography is also very important to me.
Mhm.
I was kind of inspired this. I'm very sentimental. I'm extremely close with my grandparents. Fortunately, my grandfather passed away some years back, but I still have my grandmother.
Mhm.
She's 96, still going strong.
I still have mine too. She's a local legend around here.
Yeah, they're amazing women. They are the greatest generation. Nobody can deny that, and they were part of the influence, obviously, in this because it's their letters. But
Mhm.
I love American history. I love World War II. I love, like I said, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I kind of put it all together. I like, when I embroider, I like to come up with different ideas that are not very common.
Mhm.
And when you, like you said, envelope clutch, I thought, wait, envelope clutch, yeah, it kind of goes together.
It's kismet.
Yes, how would that look as like a pocketbook or a bag?
Yeah.
And I started designing it and ended up with this. And then as it kind of falls into place, I like a lot of detail in items that I make.
Mhm.
So like the applique stamps I really enjoy doing, and the censor tape, trying to make it look like Scotch tape
Yeah.
when they open their letters.
Well, it's
and
interesting because an envelope, when you hold it, this isn't the same material as an envelope, but
Yes.
it has different textures on it. The stamps feel different, the tape feels different, and you've really paid, like where we imprint our writing onto it
Mhm.
feels different, and you've allowed the opportunity for all of these things to have different textures.
Yes.
So all the elements that would speak on the letter speak on this. The other thing that I think is funny is that both convey contents, like that link to your person, like
Yes.
personhood, like everybody's bag is filled with it's filled with the basic things, and just like paper is something that everybody has, but everybody has their own little spin on what they keep in this.
Yeah.
And letters convey a lot of personal things, and it becomes a legacy thing that speaks in the moment, but then over time becomes the story of a relationship.
Well, they started out when they were writing their letters, because she was 16, he was 18.
Mhm.
They met in high school, and he basically entered service,
Mhm.
and then they started writing to each other. When she signed the letter, she just would be like friendly.
Yeah.
And then within the year of him finally coming back from when he was training, and then when he actually went into service, then by the end of the first year, it was like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
And so you can see the relationship build, and then you can
Yeah.
see some of the letters, like like when FDR died or when the war ended. She talked about the bells ringing in the church and everybody was crying and so happy that the first part of the war was over.
And it's funny because now that we have non-draft service and like it's a smaller segment of the population that's like going to war, but for our grandparents' generation, because you and I are probably around the same age, my grandparents corresponded all through Korea, and that was like seminal to their development of their relationship. And that's a really cool thing because it is written, but it also is narrative because it's telling a story. So a lot of the works in this show, just like this envelope purse, exist on many levels. So we wanted to show different mediums of conveyance of the word, but also different ways of telling a story, different ways of making memory an artifact. Because even when you say the phrase, it is written, usually when somebody says it is written, they're referring to memory or legacy or something like that. And this is the perfect kind of piece for that because it's a legacy.
Nobody writes letters anymore either.
They do not. And like even when we were doing the consignment agreement and I said things had to be in writing, I laughed about it. I was like, nobody sends letters anymore. I tell people this all the time. You send me something by carrier pigeon, and I'm just gonna be like, you win everything. Like, I'll sign my business over to you. I'll be like, never seen anything better than this.
I just had somebody.
That's good by me. Then I don't really mean it.
I just had somebody too. I was trying to contact, and I emailed, and I was trying to call. I couldn't get reached. I wrote them a letter. Got back to me. It's amazing that written letter, what it can do, because it's so personal. It's like
personal,
people took
and
time.
they get so few of them.
Yes.
Like, and so the thing is that when you get mail that's actually for you, that's not a bill, that's not like an advertisement, that's not for me, because we both have the same problem with our names being close to our mother's names, where you get mail that's like, I'll get things like, Caroline, you come to this steak dinner on your retirement. I'm like, you meant to get Carol. But the thing is when you get something that's actually meant for you, it feels intimate and personal and engaging in a special way, which is, I think, really perfect because, like, art is personal and intimate and engaging. And so, to me, one of the things that's always interesting is the way artists are essentially interpreting life and the things that they come up against or, like, that hit them. Because it speaks to a humanity in us all. And part of that, and we were talking with one of the artists earlier, Gwen, about this, that language is one of the base social covenants. It's one of the longest existing relational things that we have that speaks to our humanness. And one of those vessels is letters, writing, things like that. So I love that. I love this piece. She also has a terrific, and I'll pop up a picture right here, a book sculpture. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, sure. It's based off of Moby Dick, or The Whale. It's called The Whale, and it's entirely taken. I took a version of Moby Dick, and then I cut out pages, and I actually sculpted a ship, and Captain Ahab is in the front of the ship with a harpoon, and also the pieces I was telling you earlier about. If it's the deck of the ship, it'll say the deck, and the tail of the whale actually says tail. The sails are kind of like chapter titles, and then the back are more like text of the book.
It's funny that you use the structure of the book to build the structure of the sculpture.
And what I always like doing too is creating the waves, because you then place where you want each piece, but you cut out the waves. You make, say, triangle, like organic shapes, but and then you curl them. And you can create the waves that actually looks like stories coming off the page. That's basically what I want.
I love it. Have you ever read The Night Circus?
I have not.
Okay, so they're magicians, and this isn't a spoiler. In it, they're both wizards, I should say. They're wizards in a duel who fall in love with each other. It's a magic duel. It's a long. You should read it.
I think I will like it. Yeah.
So. But he creates a scene for her, like he imprints it in her brain, so they're both existing in this fantastical thing. Oh, yeah. And it's a book. It's a ship made out of books, and the waves are like.
Oh, wow.
I feel like you would love that. So if you like The Night Circus, you're really gonna like this piece.
Yeah. And it's funny because my uncle saw it and he says, "I'm gonna dub you the literary engineer." because
Oh yeah.
you
That's
take
funny.
the literal word, but then you engineer it into something, and I always thought that was kind of funny to give me that nickname. But it's interesting to me because I always like going through some of the stories I read, some of them I don't. I'm not sorry for those that like Moby Dick. I'm not a big fan of that particular writing style.
It's a touchstone, and we understand why it's important, but it's probably
Yes.
not like it's not like all bops. I'm gonna read that over and over again.
Yeah,
like, it's
'cause
not
I
the
love
summer
to read
hit of the season.
No, it's and I understand the importance, and I know it's a classic, and for American literature, it's like a big piece. It's just that the style of writing for me was a little bit to digest, I'll say. But I do like going through it, picking important parts, like Call Me Ishmael. It's in there. If you look at the bottom, I also covered the bottom of the dome with pages from the book. So again,
That's
like I
great.
wanted off the thing, and it does say Call Me Ishmael because I know that's the opening line. It's
Yeah.
a big
It's
line.
the hallmark.
It's the
As another book author that somebody who works with pages, Michelle Collins says, she said, we don't realize that even if it's not a story we there's lessons in
Yeah.
the literature that we choose to sell, and so you pick the touchstones that
yes, the main
Yeah.
focus of if you had to pull 5 things from the story, what were the big parts of
what
it?
are
And
the,
that's
yeah,
and
what are the most famous
kind of
parts
like
that speak
A
to it?
Tale of Two Cities. It was the best times, the worst times.
Yeah.
Like certain lines you have to have. I think part of pieces that
Yeah,
are
to
usually
recall our collective history
Yes.
and engagement. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to have your work
Thank you, I'm excited.
in this show, and I'm really excited about the show. This might be one of the most interactive, even between the way the works speak to each other and
I
the
think
kind of
so.
things that people are conveying. So we hope that you'll come see the It Is Written show from now through October 29th. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you.